Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed the break. We're already getting started with match number 2 underway, and it is Team Eternal and Pedro on the Blight. I'm so excited. This is going to be my first time casting Eternal. I'm here with Carry. I'm ssbkid. Dude, I'm so excited. How about you, man?
Yeah, I am. It's a big test for Eternal today. They're going to be looking for a 9-0 clean sweep in Season 8. Oh, and Nightfall looks like it's going to try and deny that a little bit from Pedro as Pedro whiffs the first one. But I do want to point something out, right, as we are just starting up this game. There is a Bill in this lobby. I'm so excited to see a comp Bill. Obviously, Bill's the best character of the game. It is undeniable. So I'm very excited to see what Sasua can pull out. But Xana Army taking the hit straight away.
Yeah, gonna take the hit right here. Gonna try to go for, a little bit of a slide right here. And, misses the hit, but gets the pallet anyways. But gets the charge right here really quickly. And he's gonna get the double hit right there to reposition. And great stuff with that down. Still at 5 gens, but you gotta think, these gens are being pressured as we speak right now.
Yeah, Pedro did well to recover that. I think that was deliberate from our ace to try and make the Blight vacuum the pallet. You see a lot of that. You can see that on Billy as well, trying to make auto aim onto the pallet to hit that there. So that's what happened there with Pedro. But recovered it well with the double bounce to get Xana straight back on the hook. And going back in, gets the hits on the Bill. And let's see what Sasua can make magic with the Bill. If Pedro decides to go for that, no, they're going to go for the tunnel. The BT only has 10 seconds, so should be running out anytime soon. Rushes inside, and hits the BT! Just as I reckon it was running out. Ace gets away with it. Just for now, as they head towards the more condensed area with slightly better loops, they would hope.
Oh my god, here comes the spins right here. Is he gonna get it? No, again, going for the pallet right there. Gonna probably get, no, decides to leave the loop. Doesn't even want to get the window vault, understanding that probably when you vault the window, you're just getting a bounce through anyways, but a little bit too eager, trying to out mind game the mind game, and we are going to see Ace going down yet again. And here comes Pedro with more pressure on these gens right now. Gonna try to, get something going right here. Obviously, just a little bit faster on the break with brutal strength. We're gonna get another bouncer right here, potentially a rush. Great reactions to flick up right there to avoid the party starter right there, right?
Yeah. Headphones must be on max to hear that one from the distance and reacts just in time to avoid it. Doesn't get the hit though, which is a bit unfortunate for Pedro, so can't apply some more pressure. And Nanami was kind of slugged there for nothing. Yes, we got the eruption on that far gen, which actually could slow it down a bit if they hook and there's time for pop. Because if they didn't go over there to apply that gen would have popped, and they wouldn't be able to get the pop. Goes the Weasel on it, which I believe they're going to get right now. Tries to flick round. But Wax is out of there, over the hill, and should be away with a near bounce landing. As they get straight onto the save for the Bill, for the ace, sorry. And it was Bill with the save actually. It was Bill with the save, probably Bill on the gen as well.
Comp Bill coming in clutch again, right? We saw 2 very aggressive saves. Not even trying to sugarcoat it, not even trying to mind game, but we are going to see the down. This pallet's already down 2 anyway, so even if we were able to get through the window, there wasn't much else to do right here as we get the first hook onto the Bill. And here comes Pedro trying to get some bounces here, maybe get a little bit of distance right to this gen, maybe apply pop yet again, knowing that this is probably the fact that people keep touching this gen makes you want to think that it's possible. Oh wait a minute,
they missed the pop, right? They haven't got the pop yet. They're trying to bait something out. Bit of information scanning there from Pedro. Yeah, they didn't pop for a while there, so they eventually go for it. And I think it's actually a really scary situation for Pedro as he gets slammed by the pallet from Nightfall, because that first chase was actually quite long. It took him a while to get the first down, and he also slugged Zanami on the floor, the second down. So there's going to be a lot of gen progress around the map. And Pedro, you saw when they're on top of the hill, just trying to gather information, trying to see what is going on, because there is so much micromanaging to do here, and Brutal Strength is getting his work cut out as he kicks the gen for, I think, the 4th or 5th time.
Yeah, kicking the gen 4th or 5th time, obviously, wanting to get the most out of pop and eruption value for sure. We're going to get another swing right here. Swing and a miss, though. Nobody home for it. Nightfall going to try to loop around this right here, but you see Pedro, understanding that, more gens are being pressured, right? For a while, that gen by the hill was one of the ones that was being pressured the most, which is why you saw it being touched repeatedly. You saw a lot of, you saw him focus on that gen a lot more, but right now he's going to focus on Bill, who gets a sprint burst into a pallet drop right here. But are you going to go anywhere else from here too? No, great stuff. Oh my god, this guy is so... The way he's playing this pallet, it is not like one of the greatest pallets, but the way he was playing around it, going wide, trying to, you know, mind game Pedro in terms of like, this is where I'm going to go, and fake his positioning to just buy just a little bit of time. But that eruption, definitely going to proctor right there, get another stack of pop right here. Going to try to reposition towards this side of the map to maybe get a pop or two on one of these gens instead.
Oh yeah, but it pops just in time, and that's the difference that Bill made at the pallet. The Blight had to use all 5 rushes to get Bill. The seconds count. They count at this level of Dead by Daylight. If you can buy your team 3 more seconds, that gen gets done. The pop doesn't apply, and it's massive for Luminescence. So that's what does go down straight away again. But 2 gens popping for it, I think they'll take that.
Yeah, absolutely. The way that they were, the pressure on these gens has actually been pretty crazy to see, honestly. We're gonna get pop and eruption on this gen right here, which will be pretty nice to see. But I mean, the fact that, you know, buying every second of time that you have, oh my god, that was so good. I love how he bounced and like got like a quick peek, and you could see it. You could see it in the camera as well. Like just so you have an idea of where to go, and the way that Pedro's playing this is pretty well. But these survivors are also playing this pretty well. You know, getting these pallet stuns, making Blight use enough rushes to just buy enough time, like you said. And great body block right there, having the bounce right there, but finally gets the hit onto Ace, and Carry potentially down here at the Shack side of things.
Yeah, and I think a dangerous down at that, all the whiff. It's only going to buy a little bit of time. That pallet did get used. They're going to fast forward. Yeah, it's not going to matter. And the eruption gets hit as well. So this is dangerous because we can see the gens are kind of lined up in a straight line from Shack. So it's about if the Blight can get there in time. And the gen regression perks have been absolutely massive for Pedro in this game. They've been used at every single opportunity. That gen, though, gets popped. And we got 2 survivors now, and I think they're going to be looking to try and get this final gen done, but the pop is going to come in just in the nick of time, just as we are complimenting the pop, which doesn't get stunned again. I'd like to see if we get the analysis afterwards. They're waiting out eruption, and I'm sure that's what it was on the hill earlier on. Waiting out the eruption there, scanning for info at the same time. But yeah, eruption and pop on that gen now. Now it's a question, do they go for the reset? I think they're going to try and push the gen as they drop even more pallets. They've been so trigger happy with the pallets this game, Luminescence. And now Dave's going to try and take the best chase he can. Like to get away, head towards the spinner, which I believe is already down, so they're just going towards the edge of the map. Eruption pops, but Wax would probably be on a different gen.
Yeah, I would imagine maybe repositioning, you know, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Repositioning to kind of maybe either stealth out or you know, stealth out for the save, or to rotate successfully to a different generator. But yeah, definitely hopping onto another generator is the move here, just because of the fact that Pedro has been focused at middle gen really well in main building, just because of the eruption cooldown. Oh, did he see him? He spotted him. That's crazy. You know, blue ain't green, so sometimes, you know, you're going to need something better to camouflage with. And that's going to be that down right there. And, man, the fact that these survivors are buying so much time for each other to just get things done in the trial, Pedro was still 1 step ahead and was able to just kind of outlast, and kind of just shows, you know, to no one's surprise, just how strong this killer is.
Yeah, there were some really good chases from our survivors, and moments where you thought, could they get a survivor out of this game? But again, we're seeing the direwolf curse of the 4K1, and will this come come to a tie break? We'll have to wait and see in our second game of this first set. But yeah, really good recovery from Pedro, and I guess there you can kind of see why Eternal have been on an 8-0 streak. When you have survivors playing really well, it doesn't matter. Pedro is playing the Blight, and he's playing it damn well.
Yeah, pretty awesome for sure. We get that final pickup onto Nightfall, and yeah, that's gonna be the first half of the Blight match, potentially, right? You never know how far it could go, right? We went to a couple tiebreakers, right? For a couple ties during the tiebreaker last set, so we could potentially see more of that right now. But you know, that is going to be it. Pedro has done all he can in 4K1. Pretty good situation, especially against a team who really knows what they're doing against Blight, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. They've had a number of Blight sets already. We didn't get to do the campfire chat, so maybe while we're waiting for these guys to die, we can discuss it a little bit. So yeah, Luminescence have played, I think, 4 Blight sets already in this season, which is a lot, given we've only played 8 weeks up to this point. So they've had a lot of experience against it. But looking at the past history, Eternal have been amazing against Blight this season. I know they've been amazing overall, but they've been really, really strong. They've had 0 deaths, so 4-man escape against Sequence, I think it was. And then compared to Luminescence now, who get the 4-man death. So I think I would favour Eternal to try and beat this win con of 4K1. But that is all coming up. We have a final score. Sorry, I'm on a new setup here, so I have to double check the final score. It is 28-8 in favour of Eternal, and we will catch you for game 2 right after a little break. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Eternal trying to defend the win condition set, which is a 4K1. So simply put, if they can get all 5 generators done, they will win this set. And it is Sasua on Blight, their first killer game of DBDLeague Season 8. So my question to you, ssbkid, is this too tall an order for Luminescence, given that Eternal have been so good against Blight this season? They got a 4-man out against Sequence, a 3-man out against Karma. Can this be done?
You know, honestly, Carry, I feel like just the fact that Eternal has been just dominant all season long, like almost like unquestionably, right? So the fact that, you know, honestly, any order is potentially a tall order against Eternal, but you know, there's always room for the impossible to happen for sure, or the very difficult to happen for sure. And here it comes right now with Kubo on looping right here against Sasua. Oh my god, gets the stun though. Great job right here. Gonna have to force the pallet, obviously, with the Brewer Spray bump just to buy a little bit of time. But of course, switching targets to going over to Dan, actually, who was working on that generator. So great stuff right here. Gonna keep going right here. Another pallet. Gonna end up greeting it, maybe using the bounce to get around and maybe get something going right here. Nobody home for it. A gen finally pops right there. You know, Zaka and Knightley were probably working on that, right? So gonna get potentially a down here. No! Oh my, I thought for sure he was gonna drop it there.
Yeah, Sasua having a really tough time in this chase, and that gen by the hill is actually in a really like dangerous position for a killer, because the hill goes straight into a window, which means you can kind of negate that full stun and go straight through the vault. So a really tricky position here, but the rush should secure the first hit if Sasua can find it. But all going around through the boxes, 2 charges left, goes for the hog tech, 1 more to go. Are you going to get this? No! A bit too short to hit the 180, flickers Blight, and Sasua still looking for that first hit. This is an incredible performance from Dan, just delaying it, but Sasua really crumbling under the pressure. It's such a tough win con, and not making it happen, just gets the pokers through the window. Shag window doesn't save Dan that time, and here we go. The rush is recharged up. Hog tech goes around, no Pluto tech needed, and Sasua misses the door frame and goes all the way around.
Oh my god, he slid through. Someone applied butter to the door frame, managed to slip through, gets the stun right here. Dan going to extend this chase just a little bit. And the big thing about Eternal is that they know what to agree, they know where to go. Finally gets the down on Dan right there, but not before 2 gens pop. You know, I mean, the fact that they understand what they can and can't read in certain situations kind of just goes to show the level of proficiency that they have when dealing against the Blight, especially in chase.
Yeah, and I think this is like, I know it's dangerous because that chase took so long, but even more so against Eternal. Eternal, we've seen them in the past. They are so happy to let their first survivor just sit till second stage. They might pump out all the gens before they go in for the save, although I think we saw Zucker sneaking there, but we've seen Eternal before. They are so happy to let their friend die on hook if it means getting all the gens. They love playing for that, so it'll be interesting to see if they do go for the early save, given they got the early gens done so quickly, and I think that was a crow let off by Zucker. And Sasua's caught onto it, and it's going to have a little inspect around the hook. Because I thought we saw a crow fly away. It could have been the Blight coming towards them. Yeah, no way Zaka set that one off, and they're going to sprint bust in. And this save's massive because that will activate Deliverance.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna opt to go for gonna wait it out right here. Maybe kind of just buying some time just to see what's gonna happen here. Yeah, just gonna opt to go for the trade right here. Even if he goes down, you know, as long as you can get away, that gives you enough time to get maybe Deliverance going. And yeah, that's the big thing, right? We talked about it. You talked about it right now. That Eternal is very good at just waiting and waiting and waiting and just pumping gens out while they wait for someone on hook, right? But they're very confident. They're willing to let someone even go to second if it means that they can pump out these gens, just because they're coordinated when it comes to going for rescues, when it comes to getting escapes, when it comes to getting all these saves. They're just so aware. And a pickup on Zaka. Was that UBK potentially?
I think Zucker did have Unbreakable, so it's a possibility, and I'd imagine the other two are bidding on their gens, as we talked about. Eternal, don't waste time. They're not going to waste time picking up Zaka, especially when Zaka has Deliverance. And I wanted to talk about Dan as well, who has just gone down, has done so well in Chase, making Sasua look like they've just picked up the game for the first time, because Sasua's had a lot of whiffs, and we saw right after the unhook, Dan spun Sasua as well. Zaka going down, and now this is a two-man slug, so really bad start for Sasua, but can they try and convert this and try and get some more kills? Basically damage limitation at this point.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I would have lost it if one of those would have gotten up with adrenaline. I would have actually lost it. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that is all the generators done, so that, you know, that meets the win condition. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's oh, you're right. I was talking about damage limitations. I forgot this is the second game. This is done. They just have to skip through the door. Out Bubsa goes. The gens were done, and Zaka's on the floor with Deliverance. So I don't know if Sasa will choose the hook. Maybe for R6ing at home, Zaka can go on the hook and use the deli, but not like staying in the trial.
I'm convinced Nightlight is waiting just so Zaka can get put on the hook and use their deli for the culture. And wow, yeah, a little bit too cheeky right there. Doesn't actually get the hit. Yeah, he's gonna come. No dead hard, because we saw it from Dan earlier. But yeah, obviously at this point we're just playing for content at this point. Gonna miss the hit right there on the pallet, going to force Zaka out, but Zaka probably won't make it to this door right now. You see the rush right here, gonna get 2 down, right? Even if you're gonna pick up Nightlight first, just, you know, to avoid the Deliverance. But yeah, that's gonna be a 1 out. All the gens done. Great stuff from Eternal. I mean, you know, we've said it, you know, they're very coordinated. They know how to get some of these saves. They know how to buy enough time for these survivors, and most importantly, they just know how to loop pretty much every killer in this game. I mean, you saw the way that they were greeting certain pallets. Like I even said earlier, like I was for sure that they were going to drop a pallet in a situation here and there, and they just chose to greet it just because they understood how many rushes were left. They understood that Bloodlust 3 hasn't had an activity yet, or even 2 had an activity yet, so they know where to keep going, how to convince a killer that they're dropping this pallet so they can commit to the M1 swings. So the fact that, you know, they show that level of proficiency, I mean, you know, I'm so stoked to watch. It's a treat to watch for sure.
Yeah, I think Dan did such a good job, I think, early on, really putting Sasua under pressure, and I think Sasua maybe didn't perform at their absolute best. We've seen them in other times. You know, all these players are really, really competent at the game, but Sasua just a couple of whiffs here and there, missing the collision on certain obstacles, just a rough game, and it happens sometimes. Sometimes the games just don't quite go your way. I think Zaka's going to Deliverance and should be out if they have to as well. But while we got this kind of downtime, given we didn't get to do a campfire chat, we're heading into set 2, which is Nurse. More Nurse for you, ladies and gentlemen, more Comp Tower. It will be Luminescence to play first, so I believe, I haven't seen the roster, but I'd assume we'll have Nightfall playing the Nurse. And they've done pretty decently this season. They had a bit of a tough time against Cynic, but on the Survivor side, Luminescence, they got they managed to get an escape against Nurse, which is always a big achievement, as we see. Oh, look at the moves! The schmoving, he's schmoving, and he's gonna go down to the corner.
Yeah, going down into the comp corner, as we like to talk about it, right? Yeah, like you said, gonna go to Nurse. We're gonna get a different. We're gonna get from the Eternal side. We're actually gonna get Nightlight switching to Killer instead of Pedro, which is pretty common, right? You know, shouts to Nightlight, because Nightlight just hit his 500 win streak perkless and add-on list with Nurse and Bubs. So, you know, Nightlight the GOAT, question mark. But, you know, Luminescence is going to have a lot to offer to the table as well. I mean, if you guys, you know, didn't get enough of your Nurse gameplay from the last set, you're going to get a little bit more Nurse right now. But on that note, we are going to get potentially a final score of 41-29 in favor of Eternal. And yeah, on that note, we're just gonna get a quick little adjustment. We're gonna switch some people around, get started with set 2, right? That's again on the Nurse on the Coal Tower. Yeah, don't go anywhere. I mean, this has been fun. Take a short drink of water, quick break. We'll be right back with some more DBDLeague action. Hey everybody, welcome back. We apologize for the minor setback. Obviously, doing some housekeeping things. Gotta bring the right offerings, am I right? So it's gonna be a little bit of a penalty, but regardless, we're gonna get started. It's gonna be Sasua on the Nurse versus Team Eternal. Again, we talked about it earlier in the Blight game, but this game is no different, right? Team Eternal is really good against these like S tier killers, just because you have Pedro who plays Blight, you have Nightlight who plays Nurse, and they can just swim with each other, right? Which actually just makes the practice, like the hours on Nurse, so worth it. Especially if you want to be a top tier, team player in Comp DBD, you got to know what to do against these killers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be interesting here for Sasua because we know Luminescence are more than capable of getting all the gens done, even getting an escape against Nurse. So if Sasua can just try and get the 4K with that -2 penalty that Eternal received for the balance effect, the wrong offerings. Oh no, Zaka! I was expecting. I didn't think you go down like that. Through the pallet gets chopped. Drop Shack pallet, and that's a minus threat from the teammates if I've ever seen one. But now, as I was saying, if Sasua can try and just secure that 4K, Luminescence got a really good shot of taking it to game 3, which would be on Clown, the first Clown of DBDLeague Season 8. But in the meantime, let's not continue with the hypothesis. Let's look at the facts. Zaka goes down pretty early on, and there's a nasty 4-gen, which I believe just got broken or turned down to a 3-gen by Eternal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're also really good at calling these out, right? Like, obviously whenever they are rotating, they are calling out like where these gen placements are or where these gen spawns are. And here's going to be this double back, right? Tried to get something going right here with the mining, the double back, but not going to be able to get it. And Dan actually going to get the unhook onto Zaka, but Sasua looking to maybe get a 2-slug right here in order to kind of, create some more pressure for these survivors. And wow, gonna miss right there on the double back. Great awareness from Zaka, great decision making. Gonna break LOS just a little bit. Gonna have to guess right here, but oh my god, he missed anyways. That's crazy.
Yeah, doesn't quite get it, and they had such a good down onto Dan, but couldn't confirm the next step. The final step onto Zaka, who gets away from it. Sasua has to leave, and now has to go and find Dan, who got picked up. It could have been unbreakable. I'm not sure on the survivor perks, but we do know they're up off the ground and they're back working gens. So dangerous situation now for Sasua, who's chasing Pedro around the shack. No shack, but it's not that much of a problem against us. Does spot out Dan though, who sprints away towards the 4 wall, goes round. That's plus 10 stone for us. Sasua killer. Can maybe make a furnace from that or something like that. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been playing Minecraft. But does eventually get the down onto Dan.
Yeah, it's been a while since we played a little bit of Minecraft, right? It's been a while for me too. So yeah, but plus 10 stone gonna be great. I mean, we saw plus 10 wood earlier as well. So but Sasua gonna finally get that down onto Dan. Definitely in a not as bad position, but could have been in a much better one. You had 2 slugs, and now you're barely getting 1 hook, and Zaka's already full health, and that's going to be the deli play, which is why you saw Dan so aggressively going towards the save. And yeah, blast mines can happen to comp killers too, so you got to be careful.
Yeah, I thought Dan would get, a bit more punished for the over-aggression, but as we saw, Zaka did beautifully to evade the chase from Sasua. And now it's kind of a tricky spot. It's a bit of a stalemate, and these gens are so close to getting popped, and Sasua's got to be really careful with the decision-making here. Gets the first tag onto Bulbasaur, hits it with Eruption, but will that be enough to slow it down? He needs to get the confirm onto Bulbasaur as soon as possible. The life aggressively, which means they can go away. Oh, but the second blink completely sends Sasua at the wrong direction. Perfect timing there from Bulbasaur. Denies the second here and buys the team crucial extra time, which means that gen highlighted with Eruption might just pop.
Yeah, gen highlight with Eruption might just pop right there, but gonna get the chase going on to Pedro. But right now, what's the guess gonna be? Breaking LOS a little bit right there, going back and checking the gen, but wow, great positioning. Blinking towards that corner of the tile in order to have a more educated guess, with a little bit more of a line of sight option here going. Gonna get oh my god, the double back into the stun. Really good stuff going right there. I mean, Pedro just buying just enough time to, maybe go down in a corner right here. Yeah, great stuff. Opting not to even blink right there to maybe guess. Going to get the easier down right here. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And that is going to be the eruption. Do you hear the scream right there? Which I believe was on Bubba, which was the ace. But great stuff for sure. Gonna get the hook right here. Going to end up rotating, but not before one of those gens pop right there. 2 gens popping right there. Great stuff, and we talked about it time and time again. Whenever you do commit to one of these Eternal Survivors, the rest of them are so efficient with their time. Their comms are always on point. They're always on lock. It's honestly always such a treat to watch for sure.
I am back. Apologies there. Everyone, if you could hear an alarm in the background, moved into a new place and something went wrong. But anyway, Sasua is back and looking to get a quick one onto Pedro, who got away with the natural BT get off hook. And gets away once again. Sasua needs to find these confirms. Needs to find these confirms fast if they want to kill. The final gen pops. Pedro is running away. Just has to stall a 1k. It's a really dangerous win condition against the Nurse. It'll be so hard for Luminescence to follow this up. Is he going to slug here? I think you have to. I think you've got to try and get yourself 2 kills to give your Survivor team the chance.
Yeah, absolutely right there. Going to give him a chance right there. You know, Pedro obviously on the ground, going to opt to get a full reset right there on Bubo right there. Going to end up getting another Survivor right here. Who's it going to be? Is it Zakruden? I couldn't really tell. But regardless, you know, where are they rotating? Where are they going to get, these gates open? Great stuff right there. Going down in the corner, not even going to pick up Zaka, understanding that maybe you want to rotate more towards the gates and create a little bit more pressure, or at least pick up someone, right? And get someone out of the game potentially.
Yeah, looking just to give Luminescence that chance as he takes Pedro further away from the gate. The gate goes down, and remember that Deli's gone. We've used that already, so don't have to worry about that. This is a really tricky situation here. Like, cause you gotta guard the hook. You want to get Zaka on the hook. There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, there is a lot going on for sure, but yeah, the decision making right here from everybody is going to be crucial, right? Especially because of how quick Nurse is at getting these downs, at just like skipping through the body blocks and not even like paying too much attention to them as well. So this could be very difficult to coordinate this rescue right here with a slug and someone on the hook right next to it too. But we do finally get the unhook on Pedro and the pickup on Zaka, and here's gonna be another hit on Bobo.
This could be a 4-man out. They could get everyone out here if they're quick enough. I think there's other survivors running the other direction. Oh, but Bulbasaur loses the 50-50. Gets mind gamed at the door and goes down. And now you have to pick because he's just going to be calling for the line. Surely goes in there. The flashlight save won't be there in time as they face away from the door. Oh, but there's no way they can make that, right? Can they make that hook? There's no one to take a body block, so I guess they can because everyone is injured. They're going to go down to the basement. That'll confirm it. No chance of saving them there. And they should get a 3-man out. But yeah, is that a flash from Bulbasaur?
It is.
Ooh. So that's a 1k7.
Yeah, 1k7. Yeah, rather unfortunate right there. I mean, the fact that you guessed wrong, and that potentially could have set you up in a position where you could have you could have gotten the 4-man escape. But regardless, obviously, the coordinated pickups, you see the efforts, that these Eternal Survivors are so aggressive when getting these saves for sure. And that is going to go down to a final score of 18-13 Luminescence. I mean, you talked about how 4k7 is going to be the win. That is, the stage has been set right for this side switch, so it's gonna be awesome to see what is going to end up happening right here. But on that note, we are going to go to a quick break just to switch some sides, make sure all the housekeeping stuff is in order. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Nightlight on the Nurse.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, which could be the final game to secure a phenomenal season for Eternal. They've dropped but one set in week 1 to master. They're on the brink of a 9-0 sweep with just one set being dropped. And Nightlight is kicking things off straight away with a hit onto Jake. Tsunami is getting chased, and has Nightlight lost them straight away? Yeah, I think they just lost line of sight just a little bit. I'm going to head back toward the middle of the map. But just to touch on the win conditions, because it does get complicated with -2s and a couple of kills, different stages. If there are 8 stages with 4 fresh hooks, it's a win for Eternal. 3 freshes is a tie with 8 stages, and 7 stages in any condition will be the win for Luminescence. So Nightlight looking to get 8 stages, and that should hopefully be enough for Eternal.
Yeah, I will tell you though, even though it is pubs, Nightlight did just hit a 500 win streak with Nurse. with no perks and no add-ons. So, you know, if anything, we're only buffing him at this point. So I'm not really sure how that's going to turn out. As you get the chase onto Nia right here, going to have to guess a little bit accordingly. Yeah, just waits for Nia to pop out, and that should be the down right there, and there it is. Yeah, when you break those, when you break LOS, it's in a corner, it's really hard for you to actually just make the correct mind game, because all Nurse has to do is just wait for you to pop out, and if you don't pop out, you're just on the other side of the wall, no matter where you are. So there's not much room to go right there, so you're kind of, you know, zoning yourself out at that point. But, you know, at that point, you're just buying out as much time as humanly possible to kind of get something going. And wait, get off the gen, bro. What are you doing, man?
Hello, just the grab allowed, and this is interesting as well because the Jake only has one perk. They have Dead Hard. That is the only perk they are running. We saw this when we were loading and we were like, what? Yeah, and then just decided to get grab on off the gen. So I don't know if there's some internal politics they're throwing deliberately, but I tell you who's not throwing Sasua. It makes a Nurse look at the ceiling, pray to the gods for help on that whip, and gonna pop the gen, I believe, as that gen gets popped. So the Jake grab was for nothing, and that is 2 stages before the first gen pop, already for Nightlight.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you know, we have some gens already worked on a little bit. What was that hit? What is going on, bro? Bro, are we troll? What is... I mean, it's the last week before playoffs, so if we're going to get any crazy moments like that, now is the time to do it before everyone really plays for all the marbles. But, like, this is too much, man. I don't know what I signed up for.
This game is so cursed already. We've got a survive with 1 perk, we got the weird grab, and then that whiff. I don't know if I want to watch anymore. There's going to be a devil summoned in my room. No, that's the 3rd hook, and the 3rd fresh as well. So Nightlight living up to that win condition. Just needs 1 more fresh and then the 8 stages, and that's it for Eternal. It would be an absolute phenomenal season, and they're so on track to do it. Nightlight is so good on Nurse. Like you were saying, the 500 win streak, we saw there in pubs. Eruption gets applied just in time as it comes off cooldown. Pop as well. That gen is getting absolutely massacred. And Nightlight very happy to patrol the hook.
Yeah, definitely not, you know, not playing around, is definitely willing to just wait it out a little bit. And yeah, you see Jake right here, Mr. 1 perk only, you know, like, there it is, 1 perk only, you know. I mean, there's nothing that says that you can't bring 1 perk. They just, you know, you just can't bring more than 1 of the same perk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, he's completely entitled to hinder himself in any way he wants. It's just the multiple broken perks that's not allowed. Oh, good patience from Nightlight. Didn't want to swing there just in case of any whiffs. Waits it out. I mean, you don't have to swing. It's just the difference between these top tier nurses. Beautiful patience and heading towards an area where there aren't a lot of hooks. Going to really overextend for this one. A body block could get in the way of it, and I think that's what Jake is doing with Dead Hard. This has got to be a Dead Hard play. Yeah, they're not going to go for it. Nightlight knows exactly what's going on there, and now Jake will be chased, and I wonder if Nightlight waits this out. Are they patient enough? Second swing. Ooh, almost catches Sasua out as they go for the instant save.
Yeah, I think we have 2 survivors right here around the hook at this point. And yeah, like, you know, obviously you see the body block hit right there, maybe to at least just trade, maybe at least get the survivor off of you. But, you know, obviously Dead Hard on the Jake kind of made it just like impossible at that point to tank an extra hit, right? You pretty much just go down at that point. So that's kind of why that's kind of why Sasua was like, you know what, you can have this hook. But at this point, you're just kind of waiting, you know, maybe playing it a little bit more defensively just to confirm the kill, and then maybe go back and touch that gen if you need to, right? You know, that the pop timer's going away, so no pop eruption plus, so you're gonna have to, you know, settle for only the eruption regression when you do get that, inevitably get that extra down again. But that's pretty much going to be the confirm right here onto Nightfall, albeit anyone else kind of just shows up and gets like a random last second save, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case right here. And Nightlight already going for the down. We're going to get the Dead Hard. What?
Oh, wait.
He just waits. He's ready. Nightlight has seen it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Nightlight was so ready for that. He was ready for that yesterday. There's no Nami's only perk comes to no avail. And yeah, with that death, onto Zanami, and the second have gone to the the death onto Nightfall, the second have gone to Zanami. Nightlight closes their iron fist around this game. It's so undoable now, especially with the blink down into the grab. Wax, what are you doing? You're getting grabbed straight off the hook. We know where that final survivor is. Nightlight does as well, and they're just going to confirm it. It's going to be the slugging Nurse to wrap it up for Eternal. No, gets the save just in time. All right, Zanami, you got one more try to use this dead on. Can you get away with it? Oh, Nightlight playing for the pop just before. Doesn't want to accidentally throw this game away, as there's a very likely an Unbreakable coming very soon.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Definitely an Unbreakable, pretty much coming in play potentially. So you gotta be careful. Obviously gonna pick up the Nia just to get the quick hook right here. Gonna potentially pick up Sasua right here, or maybe just chase after the Jake. Again, like you said, maybe third time's a charm to to bait out the dead hard. Can you get it successfully? I propose a rule change to, maybe add an extra 10 points if they get the dead hard right here, because they're only running one perk. I'm just kidding, of course, but you already see Zanami kind of just hanging out. Maybe a little bit of a call out on Nightlight. We're gonna have to see what's gonna happen here.
It's a 1v1 at Shaq. We know what's happening. These comp players, they love it. They love it. All right, then. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe your final performance from Eternal in the group stages. And the 1v1 starts. Zanami heads towards the unique tile, which we saw in Ormond. I still don't properly know what to call that, but it's going to be a second blink straight away. No, that's not going to catch out. Good pathing for Zanami. Turns away at the precise moment. I remember Hens teaching me that one. You want to turn just a bit later than you think. Once the Nurse has committed to an option, that's where you want to turn away. And now Zanami playing around the edge of the map. Turns a bit too quickly, and so is the dead hard. The panic dead hard. Nightlight waits it out. Zanami goes down, and that is going to be it. All we see of Luminescence in DBDLeague. Season 8, it is done. Eternal have closed the door on them.
Yeah, I mean, great pathing right there, but a little bit too scared on the dead hard, right? Gotta get the 1v1 ladder practice going, right? I've definitely seen these Eternal survivors. They're a bunch of grinders, I'm not gonna lie. Or these Eternal players, I mean. Definitely a bunch of grinders, tuning into the streams and just seeing them 1v1ing people, screaming people. They're definitely about it. It shows how much they actually just do enjoy this game, as well as like playing it at a competitive level. They also just enjoy playing it, right? Which is, it's kind of a treat to watch. And we do talk about Eternal a lot, especially in the set right now. But they've worked for it. Like, they've worked to get all the credit and respect that they've earned, for sure. Just having a near flawless season, not dropping a single weekend, which has been such a treat to watch, for sure. And that is going to be a final score of 41-24 in Eternal side, and it is a 2-0. Not having to go to the clown. I'm sure Nightlight was ready to bust out the clown if needed as well. So yeah, I mean, it was fun to watch, for sure.